Hey Bit Squad, welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm going to be debuting my Beards and Bitcoins podcast, episode number 14, my and jchains interview with Crypto Shill Nye. It's a really great episode. Make sure you give it a listen. We're also not one of those podcasts that's just on YouTube, so make sure you go on iTunes or SoundCloud and follow us there, Beards and Bitcoins. That's a little bit of a hint that down the road, maybe giving us a review or subscribing to us might be part of our 12 days of Cryptomas. But today, we are going to do another challenge, day number 3. This one is pretty simple. All you got to do is go to Twitter, follow our podcast on Twitter at Beards Bitcoins, and if you do that, just drop your username and your address for VeChain. We're going to be giving away 5,000 VeChain Thor coins. Now, remember that VeChain, along with Tron that we already did for day number 1, is not ERC20. They have their own mainnets. So to complete this challenge, all you'll have to do is get a VeChain address, put it in the comments along with your Twitter username after you follow Beards and Bitcoins. It is at Beards Bitcoins on Twitter, and you will be entered. So we already gave away day number 1, 1,500 Tron. Now it's time to give away our 45,000 holochain tokens. That is an ERC20. So I pulled up the video right here. We're going to hit pick a winner. They have to have followed me on Instagram and also drop their ERC20 address. So we'll see if we can get it on the first try here. Nope, that one is not. So thanks, Bob, for playing, but we're going to pick another winner. Okay. That's a long story. Nope. There you go. Okay. Crypto Gora. So I'm going to do real quick. I'm just going to pull this person up on Instagram. I know you guys can't see this, but I'm going to do it on camera so you guys know that I'm actually doing it. There it is. Okay. Following. And there it is. You guys can see it right there. Boom, he is following me. So thank you so much. You are the winner. I'll be sending over your holochain tokens here in just a little bit. And make sure you guys complete the challenge for day number 3 of Cryptomas. Really appreciate all the support. You guys check out the podcast.
Welcome back to your newest favorite podcast, Beards and Bitcoins, where BitBoy and jchains get together each week to talk about crypto and things happening in the community. They will bring you some special guests and giveaways, so make sure you're subscribed. For all show-related news, you can find the guys on various social media outlets. Everything is listed on the official show Twitter account, at Beards Bitcoins. Now, without further introduction, 2 dudes that have beards, like Bitcoins, and want to talk to you about both, BitBoy and jchains.
Hey guys, welcome to your favorite podcast, Beards and Bitcoins. I am your co-host, BitBoy.
I am your other co-host, jchains. Hope you're all feeling well and having a great week. Quick shout out to our show sponsor, hodl. You can find them on hodlfuel.com, Twitter at hodlfuel. But more importantly, what's up to our special guest, Nye, man?
What's up, brother? How you guys doing?
Good.
Good.
Yeah, you've came a long ways with your look over the last several months. I remember when I used to watch your videos when you just had the mask on and you were just talking about trading advice and stuff like that, and that's it, covering the mouth. You know, how did that? How did you feel covering the mouth for so long?
You know, it was like hella fun in the beginning. You know, first off, I had no idea people were gonna react about like that level. I just wanted to like do videos and stuff like that, but I just didn't want anybody to know who I was. And yeah, it was super fun. People like freaked out. They're like, why are you wearing a mask? Everybody was always curious. And then like, I think after like 6 months or 8 months or something like that, it just got annoying, you know?
Yeah.
It just got to the point where like people would be like filming me at events or taking videos or photos and things. And I'd like have to like remember to cover my face up. And so yeah, just pull it off and time to go just me.
Yeah, man. I remember when I met you in person in Chicago. I got a picture with you. I think you did the cup. I call it the cup face.
Yep.
You had the mask though. I met you in Chicago too. That was my first time that you and I interacted as well.
Hell yeah. I mean, the cup face was literally like the lazy version of me doing the mask, you know?
That was the beginning of the end.
Oh, can I? Yeah. They're like, can I get a photo? I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like much better than taking the mask out of my pocket and like tying the bandana is hella annoying. But
Yeah.
Hold on. Give me 30 seconds. Hang on a second.
All right. Exactly. Dude. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And then like I take it off and someone else would walk up and be like, yo, are you Nye? Can I have a picture? I'm just like,
Yeah. So I think you cut out there for a second.
it's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, but you know, I think that the difference in you not wearing the mask and wearing the mask, I feel like it's kind of like almost night and day. Like, I don't know, when you were wearing the mask, it was almost like you had some kind of like, I don't know, like standoffish kind of standoffishness to you. You know, it's like, I'm wearing this mask, I'm not. And, you know, I think that's when people are wearing masks, a lot of times that's how they come off. But I met you in person and you're like the nicest dude. You know what I mean? Like, you're a really nice guy and you're very personable. And it's, you know, kind of opposite from what I guess I would have expected with the mask. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
100%, dude. No, I always had people messaging me like on Twitter and being like, dude, you're so cocky. Like, you think you're so full of yourself. I'm like, wait, like, what are you talking about, bro? Like you've never met me, you know? And like, I don't think people realize like a lot of the time, like when I'm doing live videos with the mask on, I was just smiling behind the mask, you know? But you can't tell that. And yeah, I definitely get that.
Yeah, well, cool. Well, we're glad you joined us today. We're going to talk a lot more about, you know, your role in crypto and different things like that. But I think we're going to hook you up with some hodl fuel. Is that right, jchains?
Oh yeah. I forgot to mention that when we were doing the hodl thing. So one of the things that we do now is we give a bag of hodl fuel away each week to someone through some kind of whatever. But this week, man, I'm not sure what the coffee's like in Bali, but we're gonna find a way to send you a bag of some hodl fuel.
Oh yeah, brother. Perfect. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Have you tried it yet?
I have not. I actually don't drink coffee, but my girlfriend loves it, so she would definitely drink all that stuff up.
Yeah, it's really good, genuinely. So everybody who tries it is like amazed how good it is. So, well, it has come to that time of the show, the Crypto Movement Twitter shout out, where we shout out personalities on Twitter that we think are doing big stuff. So it's brought to you by Crypto Movement, crypto apparel for the crypto enthusiast. You can find them at Crypto Movement. That's mvmt.com. Also, you can, or crypto-movement.com. And then you can find them on Twitter and Instagram at Crypto Movement. So, all right, guys, who are you guys shouting out this week? We'll start with you, jchains. Who are you shouting out?
I am going to shout out Cody Vargas. You can find him on Twitter at Cody Vargas _ He's putting out some content on the regular, some funny stuff, some art stuff, some creative stuff. So keep doing what you're doing and spreading awareness, man. I know he's New York based and he's always out and about shooting videos. So keep doing what you're doing, man.
Now, have you guys seen his twin?
Yeah, of course.
Peter McCormick. They do look just alike. It's funny. I realized like later on that one time I wasn't necessarily talking to Peter, but I was standing close to where he was and I thought it was Cody. So in Las Vegas. But yeah, so how about you, Nye? Who are you shouting out this week?
I'm gonna give Crypto Dog the shout out. You know, Crypto Dog is always out there busting his ass, creating a lot of content, and generally just a good guy in general. So shout out Crypto Dog.
Nice. Love those good dudes on Twitter, you know, and the good gals too. Speaking of good gals, I am going to shout out my friend Harley, aka Crypto Model. You guys may know her on Twitter and Instagram. You know, me and I met at a blockchain conference, and the first blockchain conference I ever went to was thanks to Crypto Model. She hooked me up with some tickets for Atlantic City, which was a lot of fun. I got to play a lot of poker up there, which was good. But you know, she's been a friend for a long time, so big shout out to her.
Fellow dropper, Satoshi Dropper as well. So
definitely.
Say what's up to the Satoshi Droppers.
That's it. Satoshi Droppers should supposedly getting our own coffee blend here soon. We'll have to see how that all plays out. But okay, well let's get into it. I guess the first thing I want to know from you guys is how you got into crypto and kind of, you know, your journey from when you started to where you are now.
So I first bought Bitcoin back in like 2012, 2013. We were all in college, man. So we were just fucking around. We were buying shit on the Silk Road. And yeah, and then I got interested in it a little bit, like very lightly, you know. I did some research throughout 2014 to learn more about it. I wasn't like heavily involved. I wasn't involved at all in the community. I was just kind of like researching it, learning about it from my own side. I bought some Litecoin back in the day. And then I forgot about it for a few years until like middle of 2017.
That's a good time to remember.
And my buddy, my buddy hit me up. I had like just got back from an event. And my buddy was like, "Yo, man, have you seen this crypto stuff? It's really popping off. I think I'm going to start to put some time and energy and money into it." And I was like, "No, I haven't." And I did, and I started looking at it. And after that, it's history, man. Spending like 15, 18 hours a day learning how to trade and shit like that.
Yeah, that's, I mean, it was such an interesting thing to get into. And obviously, you know, I think you got in a lot earlier than I did, but, you know, just kind of learning that whole, because it's, you know, it was like when I first started, it was a shift from the stock exchange over to crypto. So it was kind of like, you know, I could like relate some things, but it was a whole different world. And it was just, all right, let's learn how to do this because I sucked at trading stocks.
Hell yeah, man.
It's really bad.
I remember I was like, so I was making mobile apps back in like 2013, 2014. And so after I bought my first Bitcoin, I like started to reach out to people in the community, like specifically news websites about Bitcoin and stuff, and started to see if someone would be interested in partnering with me on making a Bitcoin app. That was like really what I wanted to do like back in the day. Because I was just making a bunch of random apps, like testing things out and seeing what would stick and what didn't, and a couple other ones sticked. So I kind of forgot about the Bitcoin idea. But I go back in like my Apple notes and I like searched Bitcoin, and I have literally like a note from like 2013, like with a full description of what Bitcoin is and why it's relevant and stuff like that. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, it's cool. Sometimes, like when we were for World CryptoCon, we were supposedly all supposed to be able to interview Charlie Shrem, but that never materialized. One of those things we were promised that didn't happen, but I still had a good time at the conference. But when they told us that, I was digging through to find all my BitInstant emails. You know, I had a ton of emails I had like 20 BitInstant transactions from back in 2012, 2013, and it's just cool to look back. You know, I remember so. And I don't think I've told this story, actually. I don't think I've told this on my channel. I don't think I've told it anywhere. But, you know, I got in Bitcoin in 2012, and then I made a decent amount of money and sold out right before Mt. Gox crashed. And I remember going to meet, I sold it on local Bitcoins. And I went and met a guy at a McDonald's. He was an Asian dude. He came into the McDonald's, and we were like on the Wi-Fi. He sent me to the wrong McDonald's. It took us a while to figure out the right one, and we met. And so he was like 30 minutes late. And I just remember like Googling like, what is Bitcoin? I didn't even know what it was. I had a bunch, but I didn't even know what it was. And it was like talking about Satoshi, and I was reading like who he's supposed to be. And I was like, my brain could never comprehend what this is. I wish I would have put a little more time into it back then, because the guy who I sold all those to, he's probably mega rich right now if he was buying up on local Bitcoins back in 2013. So I don't know. Maybe it was Peter from Decentralized TV. He lives right around the corner from me, but I don't know. I don't think it was him. But
no, I get it, man. I mean, like when I was like getting into it too, like it didn't click for me. You know, I was like more skeptical. I was like, I mean, this sounds like a cool idea, but what's the fucking relevance of it? Like, and mind you, I was probably like 18 or 19 at the time. So I didn't have much financial responsibility for myself. I didn't know much about the financial system. I wasn't heavily educated in these areas. I was still in college, you know? So yeah, I get it. I wish I had spent a lot more time like diving into everything back then, but it's what it is. Now we're here.
Yeah. It seemed like, so when I used to do a decent amount of online gambling, like all these different gambling sites, they would have these weird ways you had to pay. Like there are all these third-party companies, and I kind of saw it as just like the same as one of those. You know, I didn't realize, you know, I never in my wildest dreams would have thought it's turned into what it's turned into. But it's cool that I was involved that early on, but I had no idea what I was getting into. So, well, let's talk about one thing before we get too much into like kind of what you're doing in Bali right now and stuff like that. I want to talk because there's been something very interesting, I feel like, that's happened on Twitter, which is all the saltiness over the last couple of weeks and months, really. It's been really bad. And it's gone from where I felt like if we were to rewind probably like 2 or 3 months, like nobody would have ever said anything bad about you. But now, over the last couple of months, it's turned into where people are attacking you for like doing inspirational tweets and, you know, posting what you're doing. And it seems like you're getting like a lot of hate these days. What, have you seen that? Is that just me? Or have you seen an uptick in that?
I don't know if I've seen an uptick. I think that I've always had like a degree of haters, you know, which is like fine. It's understandable. People don't get it. but I have noticed the motivational stuff, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I personally don't call it motivational stuff
Right.
just because like literally it is me, you know, like it's what I talk about. It's like my vibe. It's what I give off. It's the things that I think about. And I think people mistake it for like clickbait or me trying to get like impressions or something like that. But literally it's just like what I like to share. But it's interesting because like I have noticed like I have like a couple people that just consistently hate on me regularly, but at the same time, like I feel like crypto Twitter is actually becoming a little bit more positive too. So I'm kind of digging that. I think we're all coming a little bit together in these rough times of the bear market.
Oh, absolutely, man. Absolutely. You know, it is, you're right. It is nice to see everybody's kind of getting a little bit nicer to each other. But why would anybody spend their time? It's like you have to waste your time to dog somebody. Like, don't you have something better to do? Like, do some more research.
Did you guys not see my tweet from yesterday? I thought it was a perfect tweet. You know, the fact is there are people that get more, like there are a lot of people out there that want you to fail. They really want you to fail, and they actually get more enjoyment out of watching other people fail than meeting success themselves. Like that's the truth.
I think that there's actually another thing. It kind of goes along that same kind of ways where people are more afraid to be a failure than they are to be successful. So that's why they're okay with just kind of doing what's required of them. You know, because as long as they're just doing what's required of them, they're not going to fail. But they're not ultimately going to be successful because they're not going to take that chance because they don't want to take that risk. It's along the same thing.
Well, I think, you know, and it
totally. And like,
go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, and like people haven't built like a vision for themselves. You know what I mean? Like people actually don't know what they want. And if you don't know what you want, then you're going to see other people getting what they want, and you're probably going to be angry about it.
Yep.
You know, they see people achieving X, Y, and Z, and instead of building what they want, they're like, hey, fuck that guy. He shouldn't be getting all this. Why does he get all this? Well, really, in reality, the other guy's working his ass off and has probably built a vision of what he wants in his reality. And the other people are just probably complacent. There's a little bit of assumption in there, but that's my opinion.
Well, I mean,
there's go ahead, man.
Well, I was just gonna say, if you like, this was really a valuable lesson for me. So I did a video where I have a puppet, Captain Salty. I bring on my channel. I've only done one video with him so far, but he will be making more occurrences, reoccurring appearances on my channel. And I thought it was
Do you do the type of puppet where you don't move your mouth with the puppet talks?
Well, the funny thing is like, okay, so what I did, this is a little secret here of the channel. What I did is I actually recorded the puppet separate from my hand, and then I edited him on top so it looked like I was holding him while he was talking, and I was actually a ventriloquist. I actually had some comments that were like, oh my gosh, you're a ventriloquist? And I would like kind of do my mouth like this. And it was just me doing it. So people really thought I was a ventriloquist. But anyways, I did this video, and it was like, I thought it was pretty funny, but of course, I think my stuff is much funnier than other people do. But I thought it was pretty funny, and I got a really bad comment on it. I got probably 60 great comments, and I got that one really bad one. And a little bit later that night, like, I was watching Saturday Night Live skits. That's like my go-to on YouTube. I watch old Saturday Night Live skits, or not even that old, but... And there was one that was so funny. I laughed through the whole time. And even on that, there were like hundreds of bad comments, about how not funny it was. And I realized, like, you got people out there that are professionals. This is what they do as a job, is make funny skits. And they get hate too. Like, when you're in the public eye, there's a certain percentage of people that are always going to be haters and always make negative comments. And the trick to it is, and I have to always constantly relearn this, the trick is to not let that one comment control what you think about yourself, because that's your go-to. When you see that bad comment, like, if you ever have any negative ideas about habits you have or ways that you are, and then you see something that kind of reinforces it, your go-to is like, oh, they're right, I'm not funny at all, but you just got to overcome that and be like, look at all the positive comments I get and all the positive interaction, which is like 90 to 95% positive. You guys know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, use it as like a humbling.
Totally. Right? Yeah, you can use it as that, and even use it as fuel. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, turn that shit around and be like, well, this guy doesn't like me, or this person thinks that this content like isn't that funny. Well, I bet you I can be even funnier. I bet you I can be even better. That's the way I kind of use it. it's like I kind of use it as like, all right, I'm just gonna stick it to him even harder. You know what I mean? Like even if it's like like if it's some random guy on the internet, then usually it doesn't matter. If it's someone who like I kind of like
Yeah.
have vibes with who's hating on me, then I'll be like, okay, well, I'll just go even harder and I'll just play even harder and I'll just achieve even more. I'll just do even better, you know?
Yeah, that's
Use it as a constructive criticism and just, like you said, make your craft even better.
Yeah, but it sucks when it's
100%.
somebody you know. You know what I mean? Or like it sucks when it's that. Now that does sting a little bit. If it's somebody who you've been cool with. Like I had a situation where, and it wasn't even me they were attacking, but it was somebody who I thought I was real cool with, was attacking some other people in Satoshi droppers, and it wasn't even me directly, but like I took it real personal. Like, why would you come at us like that? So, anyways, it is what it is. But I think that the markets have a lot to do with the negativity that we do see. But even if the markets were positive, we would still be seeing negativity, because people, especially if people are doing well financially due to crypto in a bull market, people are jealous of that if they didn't have enough invested in the beginning and things like that. So, well, that's enough about that. Let's talk about what are you doing in Bali? Well, how did you end up there? I know you said you're staying there at least for a couple months, something like that. So tell us, how did you end up there and what are you trying to do while you're there?
Yeah, man, Bali's awesome. So I've been traveling around Southeast Asia and pretty much all of Asia for the last like 5 or 6 months now, going to all these different conferences and stuff like that. And Bali was one of the stops I wanted to make. So I think I came here like 3 months ago for the first time and just fell in love with it and realized that like I needed a couple months off in terms of going to conferences and things like that. I needed a couple months to kind of like plan out what I want to get in 2019, plan out where I want to be, plan out the things that I want to do, and plan out some new structures for some new ventures that I'm building. And Bali's the perfect place to do that. They've got good food. I can exercise. I can kind of get back into shape and hopefully get my fitness goals up and do a bunch of other stuff while I'm here. So that's kind of the gig at the moment.
Cool.
Nice. Well, I've seen a lot of that on crypto Twitter. Is everybody's getting that healthy vibe. It's like, all right, we've been wrecked for so long. I went to the dentist a couple weeks ago, and they said my blood pressure was so high that like I'm gonna have a heart attack soon.
At the dentist, they told you your blood pressure was high?
Yeah, they told me to go to the doctor. My blood pressure was so high, so I don't go to the doctor.
Okay, here's the question.
I don't want.
Did you use Dentacoin?
Not yet.
Okay.
But I don't want to like go on medicine and all that stuff. So I'm not going to go to a doctor. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to get healthy, right? So that was my motivation. It's like, all right, enough's enough, man. Like, quit drinking, quit doing all the stupid stuff that you're doing, quit eating like a idiot, and then just like really get yourself healthy and work out. And like I've seen like Euclid's doing it, man. Yuki, he's doing his push-up challenge, and like
everyone's so funny. He's so funny with that green screen.
Dude, that's like changed. That's like changed.
It's changed Twitter.
Yeah.
He's so funny. The stupid Sasquatch report, that was so funny. But everything he does with that green screen is absolutely hilarious. I'm like, he's such a comedic genius,
Yeah, he's funny. I like it.
Yeah.
Even like his musical skills, man. He played that song, whatever he was playing. He sounded all right. He was singing, man. He can do it all. He's fun.
Multifaceted. Well, speaking of being healthy, you're pretty out in the open now about that you quit drinking and I guess, I don't know, smoking pot, using drugs. I don't know what you were doing before, but that's been like a part of your journey in crypto, right?
Yeah, bro. It's actually 2 days from now. I am officially 1 year sober from a whole bunch of shit. So
congratulations, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Keep it up.
So I'm 12 and a half years maybe now. 11 and a half or 12 years. Yeah. So I know. So we go to the bars and stuff where everybody's out at the conferences. We're like the only ones not drinking. So, no judgment to anybody that does that. I mean, for me personally, the reason why I quit doing everything I was doing, I ended up in a coma. I almost died, yada, yada, yada. But for me, it was like kind of out of necessity because I was going to die for sure. And so like I decided I was going to quit forever. And that's what I've done. What kind of led you to make that decision? Because I know you've talked about it a little bit. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, man. So I'm actually going to share a big post about this on the day as well, but we'll dive into it a little bit even deeper than I've shared before. So I was utilizing like a lot of drugs, a lot of substances ever since like college. Specifically, just like we're just partying. We were having a good time, or what we thought was a good time, and really like I think in reality like. a lot of it has to do with kind of escaping reality. You know, I think like
100%, yeah.
when at least I can't speak for anyone else, but for me specifically, when I was overutilizing alcohol, drugs, pills, weed, psychedelics, whatever it might be, part of it had to do that I just didn't really want to face reality. I didn't really want to face like having to like create reality. You know, I didn't want to like it's uncomfortable. I didn't feel like the education system had like really prepared me, you know? Yeah. So when I got out of college, I like I definitely went overboard on the utilization of substances and things like that. And man, it just got to the point where I had some really challenging times. You know, I'd gotten to the point where I'd had ruined like really intimate and deep relationships because of substances and broken those. Attempts on my own life. I had multiple different things that had happened. At the end of last year, I knew I had to quit for like over a year already, like 2 years before that, but I just hadn't done it, you know? Yeah. I'd like pretty much had stopped smoking weed at that point, but I was still heavily addicted to other substances, and I'd still go back and forth to drugs and then weed at every once in a while. I hadn't like fully committed, you know? So it just got to just like December 15th, 2017. I was really into crypto. I really saw it as a huge fucking massive opportunity. And I utilized crypto as the tool to kind of motivate me out of the death spiral that I was in, you know?
Nice, man. So appreciate you sharing that story. You know, it's a personal thing, and you know, it's a journey that you've overcome, you know, of your own journey, man. So congratulations to you on this journey, man. Wish you nothing but the best the rest of the way. Yeah,
man. I mean, I think that's the interesting thing is like part of the reason I work so fucking hard is actually because of that, you know? Like I think like it's something that like I don't regret at all. I'm glad I went through all of that. It pushes me harder every single day.
It's like your FUD, man. It's like your FUD, like what we were just talking about. It's the negative comments, you know, it's like how you felt about that. It's like, that's pushing you to be a better person, to be better, to do better every day. Amen. Exactly. And it's like a part of, it's like half of it I'm pushed and I'm motivated because of this vision that I've built and I am building of like what I want my life to be. You know, like a big part of it was I realized like at the end of last year specifically and really like actualized it. I realized that I want to build a family, you know, I want to have a wife, I want to have kids, and I need to be okay in order to do that. Emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually, like I need to be okay, and not just okay, I need to be thriving in order to support those people in all those different aspects. So I think that's part of what drives me. And then the other part of what drives me is like kind of a fear of not going back there. Yeah. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's kind of what it's all about.
I think that's a great point you make. I think a lot of people have this idea. I know I did when I was, you know, I mean, I was into meth. I was a meth head basically for 7 years, from 17 to 24. And I always had this idea that like, if I could just find the right girl to date, you know, that she could help me and I wouldn't need to use drugs. And then later on, you know, you realize that you have to be okay yourself before you're any good to anybody. That's why I ran off every relationship I had, because I was an addict, you know? So eventually it led to where I had to go into recovery, and, you know, a traumatic event occurred, and I had nothing when I went in. And then now, you know, today, 12 years later, I'm married, college degree, you know, 3 kids, just loving life, you know, couldn't have a YouTube channel. That's like the best thing, right? Have a YouTube channel. So, you know, and that's you make like so many good points about, you know, escaping reality as well. Like that's what a lot of people are looking for. And like, what's so bad about your reality? Like that's what I came to learn later, was my reality wasn't good. So I made my reality better. And if you get something to live for and something that motivates you, for you it's crypto, for different people it's different things, then, you know, latch onto that, then you can be successful. You know, like my life right now is way better than it would have ever been if I wouldn't have, you know, number one, went through that, but number two, came out on the other side of it. So, all right, well, cool. Well, we could talk about that all day. That's like a passion of mine. I like talking about that stuff. But let's talk about your, like, what you're doing. What are you doing in kind of the business world? Give us a little rundown of that.
Yeah, so I obviously have my Twitter channel and other social media channels, which is just fun. I use it to kind of vocalize my thoughts, my opinions, my perspectives. People seem to like it, which is cool. Never really like expected that to happen, but it did, and I like it a lot. Besides that, I started a company 4 months ago now or something like that on my first trip to Asia. That was pretty much what it is. It's a social media marketing company, pretty much fully dedicated to helping crypto startups utilize social media better, build a community, and gather attention. And so usually I come in, help people on the back end, teach them how to utilize social media, teach them how to utilize community, manage their social medias, and a couple of other things. And yeah, it's going really well. I'm having a lot of fun with it. It's a blast. And I also have a little secret project that's brand new that should be launching probably in the latest, probably like 4-week time frame. So
Ooh,
Sounds exciting.
is it the Nye Armcast?
it's
coming out with your own cast
exactly
company?
what it is. That's exactly what it is. It's a Nye Armcast, and you can get yours only $9.99 for free shipping, everything. Don't worry, guys.
Nice. If you live in Bali, he'll hand deliver it. He'll
Exactly.
hand deliver the Armcast. Well, cool. Well, you know what? Something came to me while you were talking there, and I realized I've never heard the story. How did you come up with your name?
So it's actually not even that exciting, but it was like a group of buddies and I were all in a chat together, and one day we're just on one, just like laughing and
Yeah.
joking about different names. So like Shilliam Shatner, Shill Farrell, and someone said Shill Nye, the crypto guy, and so I like messaged him and I was like, "Yo, bro, can I use that?" And he was like, "Yeah, bro, you can use it." And so for like the longest time, even before I had the picture with the mask, it was a picture with my Bill, like was a Bill Nye avatar with
I remember.
like a Bitcoin face
Yep.
tattoo and shit. It was hilarious. And yeah, that's kind of how it all started. People would just follow me just because of the avatar, just because of the name. It was pretty funny.
Well, it's crazy. I don't even like I don't even associate you with Bill Nye anymore. Like you're just Nye, like we all know you as Nye. We refer to you as Nye. I said it's going to be real confusing on New Year's Eve this year when everybody's hashtagging Nye. Like we're not going to know what to do,
You're going to be trending, bro.
You're going to be trending. Yeah, you're going to be trending. Nye is trending. So
We gotta
all
start
over
the
the world.
We got to start the meme back up on New Year's Eve. That'll be perfect.
But I think, but as far as your company goes, I've been just different companies that I've encountered in the space. It is insane how clueless some of these companies are about social media. Is that something that you've?
Yep.
I mean, I guess that's the need and the problem you're trying to address with your company. So I guess that's something you've seen as well.
I mean, the reason that I literally started the company was I was in Asia and I was going to these conferences and everyone was like, "Oh, how do you use Twitter to become effective?" And I'd look at their Twitter page and it's like disgusting, like people just retweeting
Yeah.
stuff and it was just horrible. And that's actually the reason that I started it, was because so many companies would ask me, "How do you use this? How do you become effective? Like, how did you build your Twitter following so effectively?" And I knew that I could like at least duplicate it and replicate it in some way, shape, or form for them. So that's what I did.
So it sounds like business is doing pretty well. Sounds like you've got yourself some pretty good clients then, huh?
Yeah, dude, business is solid, man. It's been consistently solid ever since I started it. I think I got my first client in the first week after I started it, and I've had multiple influxes of clients over the last couple of months. It's been great.
Nice. Well, speaking of marketing geniuses, one thing I want to talk to you about very selfishly is my biggest bag that I own, which is Tron, and you actually, which is a new turn of events ever since Tron's Giving. I don't know if you guys saw the first annual Tron's Giving, which comes complete with a Tronky. That's a turkey that rides to the feast on a Tron cycle, but that's a totally different story. But, I really got to where I've really turned on Tron. I really, really like what they're doing. I think, there's some things about the way that it started in the white paper and stuff, yada, yada, yada. But you actually went and visited the Tron headquarters, and I want to know, what was your takeaway from that experience? What kind of conversations did you have? And how do you feel about that company moving forward?
I think a lot of people don't like Tron specifically just because of Justin Sun.
Yep.
I don't think they really know what's going on in the company. I mean, I can't even say that I know what's going on within the company, even after visiting them. I don't read code or anything like that. So My perspective is 100% like based off of my impression of the people that I met and what they were telling me they were building. But after visiting the offices, I thought it was super interesting, man. I thought it was, I really like, literally the reason I went there was to like just see if they had an office. You know what I mean? Like I wanted to see if like if they had an office, if there were people in there working, what it looked like. But I got to learn a little bit more about BitTorrent and why they acquired that, what their plans are with that. And yeah, I'm interested, man. I'm definitely interested. It's one that I have on my radar now.
That's pretty cool.
The BitTorrent purchase was the thing that really drew me back to it. I think the BitTorrent thing is huge.
Yeah, I think that like, yeah, I mean, Bitcoin's pretty much one of the first P2P networks that has done it very successfully, and the fact that they already have a massive user base is huge, you know. And I'm interested to see how like what their plan with all that was. You know, when they first announced that, I was like, okay, cool. This is just a marketing play. You know, they're just buying BitTorrent to gain attention. Cool, good job, John. But now after kind of meeting them, I have a feeling they have something in their back pocket that like it's like a plan that they're building. I don't know that for a fact, but I'm interested to see what happens.
This is not financial advice. Make sure you do your own research here.
Yeah, not financial advice at all. Exactly.
Just a couple dudes with beards chit-chatting about cryptos, okay?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that sounds like music to my ears, though. I'm not going all in on Tron, but I'm going pretty far in on it. So I feel like it's got the. I've said this before. Tron is a gamble in my opinion. Some of the other coins in the top 10 are not nearly as big of gambles. I don't think Stellar is a huge gamble. I don't think Bitcoin is a huge gamble. Ethereum, I don't know. Maybe Ethereum is a gamble. I don't think Cardano is a huge gamble. I think in the short term is not going to do great. Tron is a gamble, but I feel like Tron actually has the most upside out of all of the coins in the top 100. Like where it could actually go to. We've already looked at, or we've already seen the transactions that are way more than what Ethereum is doing. And the Ethereum's biggest problem is scalability. Everybody knows that. And Tron has actually bought a company that's already has a roadmap for scaling. You know, implementing sharding is what Ethereum's trying to do. BitTorrent's already done it. So there's a lot. I think you know, in the hype machine behind Tron. You know, we go on another run. There's no telling really where it can go. So not financial advice, but you also went to the VeChain office. You went to the VeChain office right in the middle of a famous YouTube series on how terrible VeChain is. I don't know if anybody else saw those videos. I won't say the YouTuber's name because we have a bit of a feud. But basically, there was a whole video series done on how VeChain is a giant scam, and you went to the office right during the time those were being released. And I want to know what was your takeaway from going and talking to the people at VeChain?
Yeah, you know, I didn't really even know that those like videos were being released or anything at that time. I pretty much stay in my own zone, right. and I saw a couple people mention it after I visited, and I never really watched the videos, but VeChain's interesting, man. I think VeChain's like, from all the companies I've visited, VeChain is definitely the most legit company, not a question. Wow. Yeah, they've got an office with like a minimum of like 50 or 60 people in it. They showed me they're like all the like they've got like it's a 2-story office, almost a 3-story office, you know. Wow. And yeah, they showed me all the things that they're working on, all the products that they've been building, and man, I'm impressed. I'm really impressed. I think it's got a lot of potential. I really like it a lot from visiting them, and yeah, not much more to say except for like it's like they're definitely not out there to exit scam people, or else they wouldn't be spending all that money on all that stuff.
The word scam just gets thrown out way too much.
Yeah, I think that's scam. Exactly. I think that's like a huge thing in the crypto realm is like scam is like that broad overview, you know, where really only like 5% of the things that we call scams are really scams, like the ones that exit scam. The rest of them may be like money grabs or failed businesses, but they're not scams.
Isn't that what every business is, a money grab, you know, on some level, you know, every business wants to make money. And so I just think that it's, you know, the word scam is just thrown out way too much. I believe the most companies, I agree with you, like 95% of crypto companies are actually trying to do something. The issue is over promising and under delivering. But yet that's like any business out there. You know, some are going to fail and some are going to succeed. So the whole thing with VeChain, where it was being called a scam, basically was like just they had some shady marketing practices is what it all boiled down to. I'm just like that. You don't think any company has shady marketing marketing practices? You know, like do you think that when Coke and Pepsi do a taste test and then they do a commercial on it, do you think they're actually showing the true results of that taste test? And they're only showing people that said, oh, Coke is great. I love Coke better than Pepsi, or vice versa, you know? So I don't know. Because it's financial, you know, it gets a bad rap, I think.
Yeah, agreed, man. Agreed.
Absolutely.
Well, cool. So
I think we're all in agreement on that one. I think there's scam. I mean, there's just bad business practices everywhere you go. I mean, that's just what people do is they try to, and you know, to some people's credit, you know, I wouldn't say they're trying to benefit off of other people's experience or whatever, but that's the point of a business, is to make money. But yeah, misleading people is where you gotta cool it.
And I think we got to like also realize like we don't know what these people's intentions really are with a lot of these ICOs, right. You know, the things that people call scams. Like I really believe that, yes, there's definitely a portion of people that came in the industry and were like, ooh, I can make a lot of fucking money for myself just doing this. But I also believe that a lot of the things that we call scams that may like have kind of scammy concepts or concepts that don't need blockchain technology or tokenization. I really think that those people, like a lot of them, believe that they do need it. You know,
yes,
I think that they have a lot of belief in that. I think that we discredit that a lot, and I think they like a lot of people have good intentions behind it. And maybe just got caught up in the hype or just weren't fully educated about the technology before they decided to create something in the realm, which sucks. But I don't think that everybody's out there to scam everyone.
No, I think, you know, you're right. Then there's just some people that, you know, they had an idea, they had a good idea or a product or a vision, and, you know, prices were good last year. You know, you made all this money in an ICO last year, and now that is like down to nothing. Who knows what you spent over the last year? You know, you might have bought yourself a Lambo, you got yourself a staff, an office, and all this stuff, and now all of a sudden your 20 million is like a couple $100,000. You're like, oh shit. Now what?
Yep.
How do we operate?
Yep.
Let me ask you, do you think there's a popular opinion that during this bear market that we're not even close to the end of is a popular opinion? I hope it's not true. I hope we're going back up soon. But, you know, there's a popular opinion that many companies in the top 100, 200 are going to crash during this time. What do you think? Do you think after coming in and meeting some of these companies and having a gauge of what they're doing, like, do you think that's true? Or do you think that pretty much a lot of top companies are still going to be around for a while?
It's hard for me to say, man, because that's more of like an internal question. You know, that would have that is all dependent upon how they've utilized their funds, how much Ethereum they're still holding, how much they've hedged into their local currency. And it just really depends upon how much they have left to pay their developers. And that's really what it depends upon. So
well, I've seen mixed opinions on how much it costs to run a project. You know, I mean, I think that I've read some people that say that, you know, basically if you need to be on life support, you can fire almost your entire, or lay off almost your entire staff. And basically you need the cost of a server and a few other things to keep the lights on. And that can last you until you get to the other end of the bull run, or into the bear market. I've heard other people say that's not true. You know, it actually costs like a whole lot of money to run these projects, and none of it is, you know, where they can shave a ton off of that. So I don't know. I think this is the kind of industry. My whole point is this, right? If you run a shoe store, okay, and it is in July, and you know that the Christmas season is like your big time of the year, and every Christmas season you like blow it out of the water, and you know if you can just make it from like July to that Christmas season, then you know that you'll be able to survive at least for, you know, another period of time. So with crypto, like, we don't have any finite dates. Like, okay, this is the date you got to make it to. But the financial rewards that you will reap if your company can make it to the next bull market are so great that like I just feel like those people can come up with more money if they have to come up with it, whether it's taking out loans or whatever it might be to make it that.
Well,
far.
it looks like we're gonna miss the Santa Claus rally. I'll tell you that. I don't know if I but
I never thought there's gonna be any city Santa Claus rallies this year. But I think that brings up also another good point is like we don't like. At the same time as, yes, you might be able to survive till the next bull market. Like we need companies that are fucking thriving. You know what I mean? Like we don't need companies that are like trying to survive. We need companies that are building, creating, and actually have real use cases that can make them money, that can bring in more users and all of that stuff. So I think that's like, that touches on the more meta issue in the space right now.
Well, and I would agree with that over the long term. Like that's what we need. In my opinion, we are still a few cycles away from the product actually mattering. You know, I don't think we're there yet. So we're talking about just, you know, investment and people wanting to make money, then I don't think that matters. If the fundamentals and the actual products in crypto mattered, we would already be out of the bear market and we'd be going back up because there's been so much good news, so many great products. Compare the actual products we have right now, like Brave Browser, compare that to what we had in December, which was basically nothing, you know, and the price was going out the roof. So, you know, I think when we're talking about the movement, the revolution of cryptocurrency, where the space is heading to, I agree with you. I think all that's very important. If you're a business that wants to just make money, I think you still got a few more cycles before you really have to produce anything. So,
agreed.
Well,
that's
cool.
An interesting perspective. I think that's probably it, huh?
Yeah, I think so. So well, let me ask you this last question. What are your thoughts on the markets right now? Where do you think we're at on the meme sheet? Do you know the meme sheet? Do you know what that is?
Of course.
Yeah. Where are we at on the meme sheet, Nye? I need to know.
Dude, I'm gonna be real with you. I don't even know if I believe in the meme sheet.
I don't believe in it either. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it maybe give you like a good broad overview of what's going on. But I don't really know if that's true or not. I haven't studied enough of market cycles to really claim if that's true for every single market cycle. But I think we're nearing the bottom. You know, I think we're really nearing the bottom. I think the absolute bottom would be low 1000s. And that's the absolute. I don't think we're going personally. I don't think we're going to go there. I think we bottom out at the lowest around 2800 to like 3000 area. Yeah. But if we don't hold that, then we'll probably go down for a while. But I do think we have a long time to go, man. I don't think we're going to turn around until middle to end of 2019 at the earliest. And that's just my opinion, though. So we'll see what happens. Middle and end of 2019 would put us in about a 2-year bear market, which seems probably reasonable. And hopefully we'll give us enough time to get rid of a lot of the scams and there I go saying scams again. Companies that just aren't the companies that aren't performing well or don't have the actual business model or skill or experience to perform. And yeah, it should give some more clarity to the space.
Yeah, I think it's good. I said I think the bottom is somewhere between 25 and 2800-ish. That would match Bitcoin's biggest crash ever, percentage-wise. So, you know, I'm hoping maybe we've already hit it, but, you know, who knows? And I'm certainly hoping we don't have a prolonged capitulation stage, but that's what everybody seems to think. So, just everything's so unpredictable. I think with Bakkt coming out in January, I know everybody's so sick of talking about the institutional stuff, but one thing I've been learning about with Bakkt is the Bitcoin futures and how they're settled with Bitcoin instead of settled with US dollars, which has been the previous futures contracts we've had. And basically what that will do is force people who want to get into that futures market into buying Bitcoin, which keeps everything away from over the counter, you know? So I'm hopeful that Bakkt will actually have a decent impact, you know, but it'll probably have an impact. We'll go back up to like about 6, 7, 8,000, and then the ETF will get at 9 and we'll go right back down. So that's probably what's going to happen. Well,
hell, if we hit anywhere above 6,000 in the next few months, I would be happy.
It feels like the moon at this point.
And it does, man. It does. It definitely does.
Yeah. So, well, all right. That's pretty much all the time we got. So, Nye, tell them where they can find you at.
Guys, you can find me on Twitter at Shill Nye. You can find me at Instagram, same handle, and my website is iamnye.com. So you can catch me at all those.
Awesome. You got anything you want to add, jchains?
No, man. No, thanks for joining us, man.
Appreciate it.
It's always fun to talk to you. I know that the time is probably quite different in Bali, but appreciate you taking your time and joining us for a little bit. So
of course, guys, glad to be on. It was fun.
All right, absolutely. Everybody, we will see you guys later. Beards and Bitcoins out.
See ya.
Well, that's it for this week. Thanks for listening to Beards and Bitcoins. If you like what you heard, show these guys some love and rate review on SoundCloud or iTunes. Also, remember you can always find the guys on social media. The show Twitter page is @BeardsBitcoins. You'll find direct links to BitBoy and jchains from there. Make sure you check for updates, announcements, and contests. Good luck to all who enter. See you next time.